Hi, I'm Janine. I'm an auntie and also a godmother, and I do know and realise how difficult it can be to look after your son or your daughter or a child that you have to care about, particularly when it comes to speaking about things that are really difficult, things like alcohol. I think part of the reason why discussing alcohol with your children is so difficult is that it's often portrayed in the media as a positive thing, as well sometimes as a negative thing as well. I think it's really difficult when your children see television programmes where they see people having a really good time, drinking lots of alcohol and having lots of fun. I mean, how are you supposed to tell children that it's a bad thing when they see it portrayed so well in the media? We went out and we spoke to a number of children about what they thought about alcohol, and actually they came back with a number of good things, but they also came back with quite a lot of things that they thought was bad. And I just wanted to share with you some of their feedback today. So what were the good things then that the young people told us when we spoke to them? Well, a lot of the things that they spoke about was the effect that alcohol has on their mood and their emotions. And one of the main things that they told us was about how alcohol really helps them to relax. It might mean that they can just chill out, it might mean that they loosen up and feel a bit wavy, or it might mean that actually when they're in social situations they perhaps don't feel so shy, they can be a bit more friendly, and they just generally feel a lot more relaxed. The other thing that people told us was that they just liked the feeling that alcohol gave them. It made them feel more fun, it made things feel more exciting, and they liked the buzz that alcohol gave them. So that's some of the good things that our young people told us about drinking alcohol. However, as I've already mentioned, they also pulled out lots of bad things that can happen when you drink alcohol. What was really interesting was one of the first things they talked about is how unpredictable alcohol can be. And what they meant by that is that sometimes they might go out and have a few drinks and actually the night's really great. They have a lot of fun, they feel relaxed, they're really sociable with their friends, they wake up the next morning, they feel great and they can reflect back on what a fantastic night it's been. However, what they made really clear is that there are some times where they might go out, they might drink exactly the same amount of alcohol, but actually the night takes a completely different turn. For some reason they might get angry, they might get aggressive, or actually they might end the night in tears, really upset. And they wake up the next morning and feel terrible. The thing that the young people pointed out is that they've got no idea of knowing whether it's going to be a good night or a bad night. And actually that's the scary thing, because they don't know how the night's going to end. And the one thing that the young people did make really clear is that they understood that sometimes alcohol made you lose your common sense. So actually things that you would not normally do when you weren't drinking alcohol, you might start doing, and it changes you as a person. So one of the other things that our young people spoke to us about is actually how dangerous drinking alcohol might be. So they talked about the fact that when you've drunk alcohol, you might feel really unsteady on your feet. And when you're wibbling and wobbling around, then actually you might be more likely to fall over and hurt yourself. The other thing that they recognised is some of the effects that alcohol can have on you, in terms of the fact that it might actually knock you out, cause you to go unconscious, or that it might just cause you to have blackouts. And what we mean by blackouts is you're still awake, but actually you don't know what you're doing and you can't probably remember it the night after either. So although you're not unconscious and you are awake, you really don't know what you're doing. I think one of the things that young people found quite difficult is the fact that alcohol is legal, and therefore they don't necessarily understand how serious alcohol and alcohol drinking can be. I think they think it's legal, they don't understand that it could actually make you seriously ill or maybe even kill you. The final thing that our young people spoke to us about, and actually the thing that's most worrying for me, is the fact that alcohol can make people really vulnerable. And we've already spoken a little bit about the fact that alcohol can make you not understand what you're doing, or maybe do things that you wouldn't normally do. But the other thing that really concerns me is it makes you more vulnerable to what other people could do to you. You might not be able to stop somebody from doing something that you would usually say no to, or be able to push somebody away. And actually that puts children in a really vulnerable position. So we've had lots of bad things, and I know as a parent or a carer of a child that can sound really worrying, but actually there is help out there for you. And you'll see at the bottom of your screen the number for DECA, which is the Young Person's Drug and Alcohol Service in Sandwell.